Here's something Prime Video does that I find genuinely infuriating. It quietly adds some of the best sci-fi ever made, films that rewired how people think about the genre, and buries them somewhere between a cooking competition and a true crime docuseries that nobody asked for. No announcement, no banner, nothing. So I've done the scrolling. 17 sci-fi films on Prime right now that cover every possible corner of the genre. Time travel, body horror, killer robots, a comedian in a room full of academics claiming to be 14,000 years old. All of it. Let's go. Number 17, Criminal.
You're an intelligence officer with the CIA. I need you to remember.
Remember what?
Ryan Reynolds dies in the first 10 minutes. That's not a spoiler, that's the setup. He's a CIA agent killed in the field, the only man who knows the location of a hacker who can trigger a global catastrophe. So the CIA does something deeply inadvisable. They take his memories and implant them into the brain of the most dangerous, empathy-free convict they can find, Kevin Costner. Costner is genuinely compelling in this. A man who has never felt love or guilt or warmth slowly, confusedly discovers all three because someone else's life is now living in his head. The cast is absurd. Gary Oldman, Tommy Lee Jones, Gal Gadot, a barely there Ryan Reynolds. And nobody is doing their finest work. But Costner is, and that's enough to make it worth watching. Number 16, Mercy.
Detective Raven, I'm Judge Maddox, and this is the Mercy Capital Court.
Hold on, just wait a second.
You're before this court today charged with the murder of your wife.
2029, Los Angeles. The justice system has a new judge, an AI. No jury, no appeal. You get 90 minutes to prove your innocence, or you are executed. Chris Pratt plays a detective who helped build this system, who believed in it, and wakes up strapped to a chair, accused of murdering his wife, about to be judged by the thing he championed. Rebecca Ferguson plays the AI judge Maddox, and what she does in that role, an intelligence that mimics human expression without quite understanding it, that almost smiles, that almost reacts, is genuinely unsettling. The uncanny valley in a performance. Critics were rough on this one, 25% on Rotten Tomatoes, and they weren't entirely wrong. The plot has convenient holes, and the ending loses its nerve a bit. But the premise it's built on is not science fiction. Algorithmic sentencing, predictive policing. AI systems are already making bail decisions in American courts right now. The 90-minute countdown is exaggerated. The principle is not. Sit through the action movie to get to the question underneath it. That question is worth your time. Number 15, Synchronic.
You know, they say we see everything once in this gig. Pretty sure we've never seen this.
I think they need help.
This one doesn't get nearly enough attention. Anthony Mackie and Jamie Dornan play paramedics in New Orleans who keep showing up at scenes involving a mysterious designer drug called Synchronic. Overdoses, disappearances, people are found in impossible places. And then Mackie's character, facing terminal cancer, starts taking it himself to figure out what it does. Here's what it does. It sends you back in time, to wherever you physically are standing, but in the past. No control over the destination. No guarantee you can get back. What the Benson/Moorhead directing duo does with that premise is something genuinely unexpected. They use time travel not for spectacle, but for a very specific, very painful exploration of what it feels like to be a black man dropped without warning into different periods of American history. The film doesn't hammer this point, it just lets Mackie experience it, and his face does the rest. Underseen, underrated, properly watchable. Number 14. A Quiet Place, Day 1.
Shelter in place. Awaiting further instruction.
We can help each other. We have to get out of the city.
You already know this world. You know what makes the noise. You know the rules. This one shows you the day it all started. New York City, the first hours of the invasion. Lupita Nyong'o plays Sam, a woman who was already dying before any of this happened, already running out of reasons to fight. and then suddenly, the world gives her a completely different problem. Joseph Quinn plays a stranger who attaches himself to her. Bewildered, kind, and terrified, and their dynamic carries the whole film. Two people with nothing in common except they're still breathing and have nowhere to go. The opening sequence in Manhattan is one of the finest sustained disaster sequences in recent memory. The scale is bigger than either of the previous films. The emotion is just as precise. If you loved the first two, this is worth your evening. If you haven't seen any of them, this is a perfectly fine place to start. Number 13, Triangle. Here is the most precise description I can give you of Triangle without spoiling it. A woman goes on a boat trip. A storm hits. The group abandons the yacht. A cruise ship appears out of nowhere. Massive, silent, deserted. They board it. And then the film begins doing something that I genuinely cannot explain in a way that is useful to you. Not because it's incoherent, but because knowing what it does removes the experience of having it done to you. What I can tell you is that Triangle is based on the myth of Sisyphus, the man condemned to push a boulder up a hill forever. The director, Christopher Smith, spent 2 years writing the script. It took that long because every loop, every repetition, every version of the events had to be internally consistent with every other. Melissa George carries the entire film on her back through something that starts as a survival thriller and becomes something much more suffocating and much more true. The film has 3 possible explanations, none of which fully exclude the others. After the credits roll, you will sit very still for a while, and then you will probably watch it again. Number 12, Archive.
How's my man? All work, no play, huh? I really hope you're happy there.
And I'm missing you.
In 2038, George Almore is working alone in a snow-covered research facility in Japan, an unwelcoming concrete palace as cold inside as the mountains surrounding it. He's building the world's first true human equivalent AI, 3 prototypes, each one more advanced than the last, and he has a secret he's hiding from his employers. He isn't building them for science. He's building them to bring back his wife. Theo James carries this film almost entirely alone. Quiet, stoic, and methodical, a man who has made grief into a project because that's the only way he knows how to survive it. But here's the thing that nobody tells you about Archive. The 3 robots he's built are not just experiments. J1 is like a toddler. Clumsy, gentle, completely trusting. J2 is like a teenager. Smart, emotional, beginning to understand that she's going to be replaced. Her jealousy is one of the most genuinely heartbreaking things in the film. When the ending arrives, and it lands hard, you realize the film has been something else entirely from the very first frame. 78% on Rotten Tomatoes, criminally overlooked. If you like your sci-fi quiet and devastating, this is yours. Number 11, The Island.
I think they're gonna kill you.
Going to the island.
There is no island!
Michael Bay directed this. Yes, that Michael Bay. And before you click away, hear me out. Somewhere underneath the chase sequences and the explosions and the very Bay-esque framing of everything, The Island is asking a genuinely interesting question. Ewan McGregor lives in a sealed facility with hundreds of others. They were told the outside world is contaminated, that one day, if they're lucky, they'll be selected to go to the island, the last clean place on Earth. The lottery is the dream. The island is the reward. And then McGregor finds out what the island actually is. The Blade Runner parallels are obvious, and the film knows it. Does it reach the philosophical heights of that film? No. Does it have a chase scene involving giant flying wheels that is absolutely committed to its own lunacy? Yes. More interesting than it gets credit for. Streaming audiences found it years later and liked it considerably more than the critics did in 2005. Give it a chance. It's a fun ride. Number 10, Spaceballs. After everything dark and heavy on this list, here is a Mel Brooks Star Wars parody from 1987 that has made people laugh for nearly 40 years and shows absolutely no signs of stopping. Dark Helmet, Pizza the Hut, ludicrous speed, which goes beyond plaid. The moment the characters watch their own film on VHS while it's still happening, when does this happen in the movie? Now, You're looking at now, sir. Rick Moranis plays the villain with a helmet so enormous he can barely support the weight of his own head. It is a perfect piece of physical comedy that requires zero explanation. This is a Friday night film, a comfort film, the kind you put on when you need to feel better about the world. Put it on. Let it work. Number 9. Coherence.
This is bad. This is really bad.
What's the box?
That was at the other house.
Oh my God. Baby, what did you see?
Hugh, what did you see?
$50,000 budget, 5 nights of shooting in the director's living room, with actors who were given outlines of their characters, not scripts, and told to improvise. And what came out is one of the most unsettling science fiction thrillers of the past 30 years. 8 friends gather for a dinner party on the night a comet is passing close to the Earth. The lights go out. One house down the street still has power. 2 of them go to check it out. And what they find is... Look, I'm not going to tell you. Not a word. What I will tell you is this. The film is not about the comet. The comet is just the thing that makes visible what was already there. The tensions, the resentments, the choices people made and didn't make, the versions of their lives they picked, and all the other versions they quietly gave up. I found this on a random scroll at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. I finished it at 1 a.m. I lay in the dark for a bit, then I watched it again the next night. No other film on this list did that to me. Number 8. Limitless.
They've had clinical trials and it's FDA approved.
All right, just out of curiosity, and that's all. I was blind, but now I see.
Bradley Cooper finds a pill that lets him use 100% of his brain, finishes his novel in 4 days, learns piano in 3, master the stock market in a week. And then, obviously, everything starts going wrong. Here's the thing about Limitless. It doesn't pretend to be deep. It knows exactly what it is. A sleek, propulsive, genuinely fun thriller about the oldest question in ambition. How much is enough? And what are you actually willing to trade for more? The visual trick Berger uses to show Eddie's enhanced state, the color palette shifting, the focus sharpening, the editing accelerating, makes you feel the drug working, which is a very clever thing to do to an audience. Robert De Niro shows up in the second half and does what De Niro does. The film moves from start to finish like it's been given the pill itself. 90 minutes, barely stops to breathe. Number 7. 10. Cloverfield Lane.
No! 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 Don't open that door! They're going to get all of us killed!
You wake up in a bunker. A man tells you the outside world is gone. Chemical attack. Airborne. Everyone dead. He says he saved you. His name is Howard. John Goodman plays Howard, and the question this film holds, brilliantly, patiently, for almost its entire runtime, is whether Howard is a protector or a predator. Whether the outside is genuinely unsurvivable, or whether this bunker is the danger. Mary Elizabeth Winstead plays Michelle, who is resourceful, smart, and absolutely not willing to simply accept the version of events she's been given. Both possibilities are simultaneously completely plausible, and both are terrifying for entirely different reasons. The film lets you switch between them every 20 minutes. Just when you settle on one, it nudges you back. One of the tightest, most claustrophobic films of the decade. John Goodman gives a genuinely great performance in a role that required him to be menacing and pathetic at exactly the same time. If you haven't watched this one yet, I highly recommend you watch it tonight. Number 6. Eye Origins. A molecular biologist who has spent his career proving that the human eye evolved, that it wasn't designed, that it wasn't a miracle, makes a discovery that threatens to collapse the wall between everything he believes and everything he spent his life arguing against. Mike Cahill wrote and directed this. Michael Pitt and Britt Marling star. What Eye Origins does quietly and beautifully is take both sides of its central argument seriously. The science is real, the spiritual question is real, and the film refuses to resolve the tension between them, which is the correct and honest thing to do, and which almost no film is brave enough to try. There's a scene 2/3 of the way through, a moment of recognition in an elevator that I did not see coming. I sat completely still after it, just processed it. The film doesn't tell you what to think. It hands you a question so personal that the answer belongs only to you. Totally underseen and properly haunting. Number 5. Serenity. Fox canceled Firefly after 14 episodes. One of the most beloved science fiction shows ever made was canceled before most people had even found it. The fans didn't accept it. Joss Whedon didn't accept it, and eventually Universal said, "All right, let's make the film." Serenity picks up where the show left off. The crew of a battered old smuggling ship, outlaws, misfits, and veterans of a war they lost stumble onto a government secret so enormous that every weapon the Alliance has gets pointed directly at them. Nathan Fillion as Mal, a captain who acts like he doesn't care about anything while clearly caring about everything, is one of Sci-Fi's great characters. And Chiwetel Ejiofor as the operative, an assassin who believes completely in what he's doing and is therefore more dangerous than any villain with a grudge, matches him completely. You don't need to have seen the show, though after this, you will want to. Won the Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation, 81% on Rotten Tomatoes. Whew, still genuinely holds up. Number 4. The Man from Earth. A university professor is packing boxes ready to move. His colleagues turn up unannounced for a farewell gathering. They press him to explain why he's leaving so suddenly, and he decides to tell them the truth. He is 14,000 years old, a Cro-Magnon who stopped aging in prehistoric times. He moves every 10 years before anyone notices he doesn't age. That is the entire film. 8 people, 1 cabin in California, 90 minutes of conversation. No special effects, no budget to speak of. Written by Jerome Bixby, the man who wrote for Star Trek and The Twilight Zone, on his deathbed, dictated to his son in the final weeks of his life. And it is one of the most genuinely absorbing things you will ever watch, because the question at its center, is he telling the truth, never fully resolves. And every subject it touches along the way, history, religion, science, identity, mortality, is handled with a precision that makes you forget there are no explosions. No spacecraft, nothing but people in a room. 100% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes. It became a cult film largely through piracy. The producers publicly thanked people for sharing it. Number 3. Donnie Darko. October 1988, suburban Virginia. A jet engine falls out of the sky and lands in a teenager's bedroom. Nobody knows which plane it came from. Nobody can explain it. The teenager's name is Donnie Darko. He wasn't in the bedroom when it happened because he was sleepwalking to meet Frank, a figure in a decaying rabbit costume who told him the world would end in 28 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, and 12 seconds. Richard Kelly was 26 years old when he wrote and directed this. He made it for $4.5 million. It was released 6 weeks after September 11th, and nobody came. They came later, in enormous numbers. They're still coming. What makes Donnie Darko genuinely weird, not marketing weird, actually weird, is that it refuses to resolve cleanly. It's a time travel film. It's a coming-of-age film. It's a suburban satire. It's a film about a boy who might be delusional and a film about a boy who might be the only person capable of saving everyone else. Jake Gyllenhaal plays Donnie with this specific quality. Curious more than frightened, sardonic more than troubled, that makes you want to follow him even as he walks towards something you can feel but not quite see. The final scenes hit differently depending on how old you are when you watch them. That's the mark of a film that's doing something real. Number 2. 12 Monkeys. 2035. The world has been underground for 40 years. A plague wiped out the surface in 1996. A prisoner volunteers to be sent back in time. Not to stop it, just to find the original virus so scientists can understand it. Bruce Willis. Brad Pitt in what was then the most unhinged, physically committed performance of his career. The role that made people realize what he was actually capable of. Terry Gilliam, directing like a man who decided the rules of cinema didn't apply to this project. Here's what makes 12 Monkeys extraordinary. It's not really a time travel film. It's a film about what it costs to know something that nobody around you will believe, about whether sanity is a truth or a consensus, and what happens when the two come apart. Willis is a man out of time in every sense, and his quiet, slow unraveling across the film's 2 hours is some of the finest work he ever did. Gets better every time you watch it. Still one of the finest science fiction films ever made. Number 1. The Terminator.
In the 21st century, a weapon will be invented like no other. This weapon will be powerful, versatile, and indestructible.
James Cameron, $6 million. A bodybuilder playing a machine? A horror film wearing a sci-fi costume? 40 years later, still perfect. Arnold Schwarzenegger as the T-800 is one of cinema's great pieces of casting. Not because he was the best actor available, but because the role needs something that barely reads as human. An economy of movement that most actors would mistake for underperformance. He nails it completely. But here's the thing about the Terminator that tends to get buried under the iconography. It's really Sarah Connor's film. Linda Hamilton builds someone who starts as an ordinary waitress having a bad Tuesday and ends as the woman who will raise the man who saves the human race. That transformation, across one night, in one film, is the spine that holds everything together. Without it, the T-800 is just a visual effect. With it, the T-800 is genuinely terrifying. Cameron made this because he had a nightmare. A metallic figure dragging itself out of an explosion. He wrote it down the next morning so he wouldn't forget it. What came out of that nightmare is still the standard everything else gets measured against. This isn't just the best sci-fi film ever made, but one of the best films ever made. Period. That's the end of our today's list, 17 films. All of them on Prime right now. Start with Spaceballs if you just need a brilliant, easy Friday night. Start with Coherence when you want something that will quietly rearrange the furniture in your head. Start with The Man from Earth when you want proof that a great idea doesn't need a single dollar of visual effects to destroy you. And watch The Terminator if you haven't seen it recently. It'll remind you why great sci-fi isn't about the technology. It's always about the person standing in front of it. Drop a comment with which one you're watching first. I read them all. Like the video, subscribe to our channel, and now, go find something extraordinary. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.